Hey guys, it's Miss Hitchcock, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a scribble drawing with some colored shapes using analogous colors of the primary colors. So if you don't know what that means yet, we're going to go over that. But first, all you need is a piece of paper and then a marker or a pen, something preferably black ink. So to start this, we are going to start by making some scribbles. Now by scribbles, I mean you're going to want to make looping lines that create shapes, create little closed shapes. So I'm going to start my line anywhere on my paper. I'm going to start over on the side. Now I'm just kind of starting with a squiggle, and then I'm going to loop it around, and that's creating a closed shape, almost like a circle, but it doesn't have to be a perfect closed shape. It doesn't have to look like a square or a circle. So then I'm just going to keep going with that, making little loops. I can even come back through loops that I've already made to break that shape into two different shapes. And I'm going to do this throughout my whole paper. So remember, the aim is not to make scribbles, it's to make little squiggly marks. We're just kind of calling them scribbles. So I'm going to flip my paper around. And then I'll just pick up where I left off and start again. So we're wanting to make sure that we're making closed shapes with these. Just keep going until you filled the whole paper. I'm going to end my lines into one of the other lines so you can't really see where they ended. So now that I have my scribbles, I'm going to draw 3 shapes in here. These shapes can be any shapes you want. You can have a circle, a star, a triangle, a square. So to make your shapes, you can use a ruler if you want, and you can actually trace the ruler into lines if you're going to make a triangle, something with a straight edge. Or if you want to make something like a circle, you could trace the bottom of something that's circular, just place it on your paper, and then trace around it with your pen. And you can get a parent or someone to help you hold that down. So I'm going to go ahead and make my shapes. Make sure you're making 3 shapes for this. So now I have my shapes. So you can't really see them. They're kind of hard to see. So I'm going to outline those a little bit more and just make those lines a little bit thicker. All right, so now that I've thickened up these lines a little bit, it's a lot easier to see my shapes. So now that I have my shapes drawn, I am going to color them in. But what we're going to do is you can see all of the little closed shapes within our big shapes. We're going to color each of those individually. And how we're going to do that is we're going to assign one of the primary colors, that's red, blue, and yellow, to each of our shapes. So I'm going to make my red my triangle, my blue my square, and my yellow my circle. So now let's talk about the primary colors and then analogous colors, looking at the color wheel. All right, so here we have the color wheel. So we said that we were assigning one of the primary colors to each of our 3 shapes. So the primaries are actually marked here for us are red, blue, and yellow. So it's easy to find these because they're in a triangle. This sort of makes a triangle shape. You can connect the primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. Now, we said we are going to assign a shape yellow because that's one of our primary colors. So I said yellow would be my circle. So to color in with the primary colors, I'm going to use the analogous colors, which are the colors that are right next to that color on the color wheel, to color in each shape. So for my circle, since that is what I'm assigning the yellow primary color, I'm going to use yellow, yellow-green, and yellow-orange because those are the 2 colors that are right next to yellow on the color wheel. These are yellow's analogous colors. So let's talk about another example. So for red, to find my analogous colors of red, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to look next to red on one side and find red orange. So I know that's an analogous color for red. And now I'm going to find my other one by looking to the other side of red to find red purple. So for my triangle, since I'm saying that my triangle is my red primary color choice, I'm going to use my analogous colors for red, which are red purple and red orange, to color in my triangle. Now for our last one, we are going to do our square with the blue primary color. So to find my analogous colors for that, what do we do? Right, so we're going to go next to blue on one side, blue purple, and then next to blue on the other side and find blue green. And those are our analogous colors for blue. That's what I'm going to use for my square. Okay, so now that we've talked about the primary colors and analogous colors, I know that since red, or my triangle is going to be my red color, I'm going to use the analogous colors for red, which are red violet or red purple and red orange. So this triangle I'm going to color in with red, red orange, and red violet or red purple. So I'm actually going to flip my paper over and I'm going to make a note of that in pencil just behind that so I remember which colors I'm going to use. So red, red violet or red purple, and red orange. Now, we decided that my square was going to be my blue. So for that, I'm going to use the two analogous colors and blue. So I know I've got blue, and then what's on one side of blue? Well, you might have said blue violet or blue purple for one of them, and for the other, blue green. Those are the colors that are on either side of blue on the color wheel. And then for our circle, I decided this would be my yellow shape. So for that, I'm going to use yellow and then the two colors on either side of yellow. So yellow orange and yellow green. So I know that I'm going to be using these colors and I've even marked it for myself so I can remember. So now what you need to do is find either crayons or colored pencils that match pretty closely to these colors that we have. So if we're going to use colored pencils, you might have colored pencils that actually say red purple or red violet or red orange. Now, if you don't have colored pencils or your colored pencils don't say that, then we can always use a red crayon or a red colored pencil and a violet crayon or colored pencil or a purple one, and we can color violet and red over top of each other and layer them, and that will still give us our red-violet color. So really, the only colors you're going to need are your three primary colors. I've got red, yellow, and blue, and then your three secondary colors. Now, secondary colors are the colors that you mix two of the primaries together to get. So I have red and blue, and when you mix those together, what do you get? You get purple. So that's one of my secondary colors. So my other secondary colors, I would mix red and yellow to get orange. So that's my other secondary color. And then I would mix blue and yellow together to get green. So that's my third secondary color. So I just have my primary and my secondary colors. With my triangle. So I decided my triangle is going to be my red. So I'm going to use red, red violet, and red orange for that. So since I only have my violet or my purple, my orange, and my red, I'm going to do just as I explained before. So I'm going to use red on some of my shapes. So I'm just going to color in each of these individual shapes. So there is a red shape. And then maybe this one I want to do as my red orange. So I'll color it with red first. And then I'm going to take my orange and just color right over top of it, and that'll give me my red-orange. So then to do a red-violet, I would color another shape with red, and then instead of picking up the orange, of course, I would pick up my violet or my purple, and I'll color right over top, and that will give me my red-violet. So now I will fill in the rest of my triangle using red, red-violet, and red-orange, and I'm only coloring on the inside of my shape, and I'm coloring each individual shape a different color, the best I can. So now you can see I've got my red-violet, and my red-orange all filled in. It's okay if you have some of them that are next to each other, since these were just big squiggles in the background. Some of them might run into each other. That's okay. Just do your best to kind of space out your colors. So now I'm going to move on to my square, which I said was going to be my blue primary color and its analogous colors. So for that, I will need my blue and my purple to do blue-violet, and my green to do blue-green. So I've got one primary color and two secondary colors once again for my square. So something you can do, since we know that for blue-violet and blue-green and of course blue, all of your square is going to have some blue on it, you can color in the whole thing blue and then go back in with your violet or your purple and your green and just color in over top of the blue in some of your square or some of your squiggle shapes. So I'm just going to color my entire shape in with my blue, since that's my main primary color I'm using. So now that I have my entire square filled in with blue, I'm going to go back in with my green and my violet or my purple, and I'm going to color over top of some of those shapes with either the green or the purple to get a blue purple or a blue violet or a blue green. All right, so now I've finished covering up some of the blue with purple to make blue violet, and then covering up some of the blue with green to make blue green. So now for my final shape, I am going to use my yellow primary color and my two analogous colors, which will be yellow orange and yellow green. So I'm going to start the same way I did with my square, and I'm just going to color my entire circle in with yellow. And now that I have it all colored in with yellow, I am going to use my green to make yellow green over top of my yellow, and my orange to make yellow orange over top of my yellow. All right, and now this is my finished drawing. So I've got my red primary color and all of its analogous colors, red violet and red orange. And here I have my blue primary color and its two analogous colors, blue green and blue violet. And I have my yellow circle down here, my yellow primary color and its two analogous colors, yellow orange and yellow green. So I hope now that you've finished your little squiggle drawing with shapes, you guys have learned a little bit more about what the primary colors are. That's red, yellow, and blue. And you've learned more about analogous colors, so the colors that are right next to each color on the color wheel. All right, I hope you had fun. I would love to see these. If you want to take a picture and email them to me, you can find my email on my website or on the Burnett Creek Elementary webpage. Bye.